The hum of the Chronos Initiative Labs had always been a constant, a reassuring backdrop to Elias's existence. Lately it felt like a discordant drum, vibrating through his bones, twisting his memories into knots. He stared at his hands, the skin strangely luminous, under the laboratory's fluorescent lights. He remembered learning to build intricate clockwork mechanisms as a boy, the satisfying click of gears meshing. Now, his hands felt disconnected, as if belonging to someone else. His father-daughter, Eris Thorne, was hunched over a console, his silver hair a chaotic halo around his focused face. The resonance synchronization is at 78%, Eris announced, not looking up. Lyra assures me we're on track to stabilize the temporal anomaly. Lyra, an ethereal figure shimmering slightly, confirmed with a nod. The corrective protocols are aligning with the nexus. The destabilization rate is decreasing, though the underlying cause remains elusive. Elias felt a jolt of disorientation, a fleeting image of a woman's face, kind eyes framed by dark pearls. Eleanor. The name surfaced from the depths of his fragmented memories, accompanied by a crushing sense of loss. He shook his head, trying to dispel the vision. You seem distracted, Elias, Eris said, finally turning. His gaze seemed to pierce through him, searching. Are you experiencing any side effects from the temporal energies? Just a bit tired, Father, Elias replied, forcing a smile. He couldn't tell him about Eleanor. He wasn't even sure who she was, or if she was real. He feared what his father would say if he revealed the unsettling gaps in his memory. The nexus is reaching critical synchronization, Lyra interjected, her voice calm and measured, initiating final alignment sequence. A surge of energy pulsed through the laboratory, throwing Elias off balance. He stumbled, bracing himself against a nearby workbench. The image of Eleanor flashed again, more vivid this time, accompanied by a whisper, remember. The synchronization is at 92%, Eris announced, his voice laced with excitement. Almost there. Suddenly, a warning klaxon blared through the lab. Red lights flashed, bathing the room in an ominous glow. Anomaly detected, a robotic voice announced from the overhead speakers. Temporal fracture expanding. Origin a Martian sector, Sol 12,487. Eris's face paled. Impossible. That sector should be stable. Elias, check the readings. Elias scrambled to the console, his fingers flying across the controls. The data streams were chaotic, swirling with unpredictable patterns. Something was fundamentally wrong. Father, the fracture's being actively manipulated, Elias reported, his voice tight with apprehension. Someone, or something, is deliberately destabilizing the Martian timeline. Impossible. Who would have the technology to? Eris trailed off, his eyes widening as he accessed a schematic displayed on the main screen. The drone designs. The schematic was a blueprint for the advanced drones deployed during the Martian uprising, the same drones that had systematically destroyed the city's infrastructure centuries ago. But there was a disturbing detail, a subtle modification to the core processor, a refinement that made the drones significantly more lethal. Those modifications, Aidons remember designing those, Elias said, his voice barely a whisper. A wave of nausea washed over him, blurring his vision. The name Eleanor resurfaced again, this time accompanied by a clearer image, a woman standing beside him, laughing as he finalized the drone schematics. Elias, focus, Eris snapped, pulling him back to the present. We need to isolate the source of the temporal interference. Lyra's form shimmered, her expression grave. The disturbance is emanating from a localized point within the fractured timeline. I can project a temporal anchor to secure the anomaly, but it requires a stable conduit. Can I be the conduit? Elias asked, a flicker of determination igniting within him. He felt a growing sense of responsibility, a certainty that he was somehow connected to the unfolding crisis. It's risky, Elias. The temporal energies could overwhelm you, Eris cautioned, his voice filled with concern. I'm ready, Elias replied, his gaze unwavering. He felt an urgency, a sense of destiny pulling him toward the fractured timeline. Lyra initiated the temporal anchor projection. A beam of shimmering energy enveloped Elias, transporting him momentarily into a swirling vortex of fragmented images and distorted sounds. He glimpsed the futuristic Martian city, its towering spires and advanced transport systems bathed in an eerie red glow. Then he saw her again, Eleanor, her eyes filled with a haunting sadness. He materialized in a darkened chamber within the Martian city, the air thick with the hum of advanced technology. Before him stood a figure shrouded in shadow, observing the construction of a colossal energy weapon. The figure turned, and Elias gasped. The figure's face was identical to his own. You are late, Architect, the figure said, his voice a distorted echo of Elias's own. The cycle is nearing its completion. The Loom of Ages will soon be unraveled. Elias felt a surge of rage, a primal instinct to confront the doppelganger, but before he could move, the chamber door slammed shut and the figure vanished into the shadows. A holographic message appeared in the air, displaying a Sumerian phrase to the Weaver's Gambit. He activated his commune to contact his father, and in the Martian city. I saw someone a duplicate of myself. He mentioned the Weaver's Gambit, and he knows my designs. The comm link crackled with static. Suddenly, a beam of energy struck the chamber wall, triggering a localized collapse. Elias, the anomaly is expanding rapidly. You need to return immediately. Eris's voice screamed over the comm. Elias knew he had to leave, but he couldn't shake the feeling that he was on the cusp of uncovering a true fog greater than he could comprehend. As he prepared to activate the temporal recall, a final message appeared on his wrist-mounted display. Remember Eleanor. The temporal recall beam engulfed him, pulling him back to the Chronos Initiative Labs. He materialized just as the laboratory doors sealed. A swarm of armed figures in archaic armor storming the facility. Contain the architect. One of the figures barked. Prevent the echoes from spreading. He saw that, looking panicked and disoriented, pointed a shaky finger at Elias. It's him. He's the source of the disturbance. The laboratory doors shuddered under the onslaught of energy weapons. The future of the timeline, and Elias's own identity, hung precariously in the balance.